Okay, picture this. It's late 2025,
Right.
and you're watching one of Hollywood's really long-standing power couples, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. After 19 years, well, their marriage is dissolving.
Yeah, it started quietly, the separation, but then came the divorce filing in Nashville. Suddenly there are lawyers, custody talks.
The whole narrative is about collapse endings, and yet, at the exact same time, this completely opposite story just explodes everywhere. Totally improbable.
Utterly. The rumor that Nicole Kidman at 58 was pregnant.
It's wild. The world's attention is fixed on this woman going through a major personal crisis, a legal battle.
Yeah.
But the story people wanted was this miracle baby narrative.
Yeah.
The contrast is just jarring.
It really is.
Okay, let's unpack this. The actual reality versus the miracle the world seemed determined to see.
Welcome back to the deep dive. And today, our mission feels pretty critical. We've waded through this huge pile of sources, all the noise around the 2025 Kidman rumors. And we're here to pull out the actual truth. And what we found, as you'll see, is that this pregnancy story, it was completely unfounded.
Yeah.
Like a complex fabrication built on what people wanted to believe, plus a whole lot of digital confusion.
So how do we break it down?
We're going to tackle it logically. First, the timeline, the divorce timeline laid right next to the rumor timeline. Then the visual evidence, what she actually did publicly. And finally, the history, why she seems to be a magnet for this specific kind of story.
Okay, let's start with that core contradiction then. The pregnancy buzz hits peak volume exactly when her marriage is publicly falling apart. How does that even happen?
Well, what's fascinating really is how flimsy the original speculation was. Like, where did it even start? It was all these vague celebrity cliches.
Like the noticeable glow.
Yeah, that old chestnut. And the idea she was suddenly choosing looser fits for her clothes, that was cited a lot.
And those whispers immediately got amplified by digging up old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like comments from years ago.
Exactly. Old interviews where she talked about wanting more kids, suddenly ripped out of context and slapped onto 2025.
And her team staying silent, which is standard PR, don't comment on rumors.
Right. Standard playbook.
But it just added fuel to the fire, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Silence is like oxygen for the rumor mill. But look, if you just overlay the actual factual legal timeline of the divorce onto this rumor timeline, the whole idea just collapses.
Okay, lay it out.
So by early summer 2025, sources were already confirming they'd separated, living apart.
Right.
Then, the big one, September 30th, 2025. She files for divorce. In Nashville, cites irreconcilable differences. It's official.
And that filing wasn't just like a formality. It was about the kids, too, wasn't it?
Very much so. The document shows she was seeking to be the primary residential parent for Sunday Rose, who was 17 then, and Faith Margaret, 14.
So this is someone deep in strategic planning for a major legal process, focusing on keeping things stable for her existing children.
Precisely. Now, step back and think about the logic here, or the lack of it.
Yeah, the dissonance is huge. Planning a high-risk pregnancy at 58, that requires immense stability, partnership, peace, everything that wasn't happening then.
It's diametrically opposed, isn't it? The narrative we were sold was this miraculous new beginning happening while sources close to them were describing a chaotic, messy split.
Right. Talk of Urban's alleged midlife crisis, Kidman fighting to save things.
You just can't realistically embark on a major, delicate medical journey like that, one requiring total partnership, while simultaneously blowing up the foundation of that very partnership. It just doesn't compute.
Okay, so if the triad reality made a baby completely illogical, her focus must have shifted to managing the public perception, controlling what she could.
Exactly. Which brings us to the professional hiatus.
Ah, yes, the work break,
Yep.
which everyone immediately jumped on as proof she was hiding something, right? Like a maternity leave?
Right, that was the interpretation. But the timing, again, is key. She actually announced she's taking a break way back on March 10th, 2025 at the SXSW Festival.
Oh, that early.
Yeah, said she was off for the rest of the year. And this was after a really grueling work period. Expats, Linus. She'd been going nonstop.
So the announcement was before the divorce was public knowledge.
Way before. 6 months before the filing. But it likely coincided with when things were starting to get really difficult privately.
Okay, so the hiatus wasn't a pregnancy cover-up.
No. It looks much more like a strategic, preemptive move. She knew a storm was coming. The divorce, the legal stuff, the emotional fallout. Clearing her schedule was about managing that, protecting her kids, getting her ducks in a row. It was self-preservation, not concealment.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Controlling her availability. But then The ultimate shutdown of the rumors came visually, didn't it, when she stepped out just days after the filing?
Oh, absolutely. Her public appearances right after were like a masterclass in visual refutation.
Talk about the amfAR Gala. That was the first one, October 4th.
Right. And what does she wear? This amazing, form-fitting, plunging black dress, a total bodycon silhouette.
Okay, but hang on. Could that just be her style? Was it really a calculated statement about the rumors?
I think it absolutely was. Remember, the whole rumor narrative hinged on looser fits hiding a bump.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So 4 days after filing for divorce, she steps out in something that undeniably showcases her figure. It's the sartorial opposite of what the rumors claimed. It visually screams strength, control, and, crucially, not pregnant.
Yeah.
It cut the legs out from under the speculation without her saying a word.
Clever. And then just 2 days later, Paris Fashion Week, Chanel.
Yes, and this felt like Act Two, the reinvention. She had that new hairstyle, the soft bangs framing her face.
Breakup bangs. The media loved that.
They did. And culturally, yeah, changing your hair after a split is such a classic signal, isn't it? It says, I'm moving on, I'm in charge of my next chapter.
Sure.
But the most powerful part of that Paris appearance wasn't the hair or the chic outfit.
Who she was with.
Exactly. She arrived holding hands with Sunday and Faith, her daughters. That wasn't just a photo op. It was a very public, very deliberate demonstration of maternal unity, of strength.
Mm-hmm.
She was reclaiming her narrative as a stable, present mom to her teenage girls right in the middle of this crisis.
Uh-huh.
It powerfully countered any idea of her being some victim or someone secretly preparing for a newborn while her family was in upheaval.
Okay, so the timeline doesn't work. The hiatus had a different reason, and the visuals actively fought the rumor. Given all that clear evidence, why does this specific rumor stick to Nicole Kidman?
Oh.
Even now at 58, why her?
Yeah, that's where we have to shift gears a bit, from the hard facts to something more archetypal. Kidman holds this really unique position in our collective consciousness, doesn't she? She's become the miracle mom.
Because of her history. She's always been so open about it all.
Incredibly open. Going back to her marriage to Tom Cruise, the ectopic pregnancy, the miscarriage, heartbreaking stuff, and then adopting Isabella and Connor. She really helped destigmatize fertility struggles by talking about it. And that openness made the later joy seem even more profound, right? Having Sunday Rose at 41, that was widely reported as a miracle, then Faith Margaret via surrogate at 43.
And she often talked about wanting a big family, maybe 10 kids, and mentioned her own family history of later-in-life babies.
Exactly. So all of that history built up this powerful miracle mom archetype around her. And what happens? People project onto that archetype.
So the rumors aren't just random gossip. They're wishful thinking. People want the miracle narrative to be true again, so they ignore the facts.
Pretty much. They project that hope, that belief in the possibility of another miracle onto her, and it overrides any rational analysis of her current situation.
And this desire, this hope, gets turbocharged by how media works now, right? You mentioned zombie content.
Yes, this is a huge factor. Zombie content, it sounds dramatic, but it's basically old, outdated information that gets recycled and presented as if it's current news. It messes everything up.
Okay, explain how that works, like, practically. How does an old article suddenly look new?
Okay, think of it like this. You find an old newspaper from, say, 2008. Someone takes that newspaper, but they digitally change the date on the front page to today's date.
Right.
Then the online systems, the algorithms that decide what news you see, they scan that paper, see the current date, and think, oh, this is fresh news. So they push it out to everyone.
Even though the actual story inside is years old.
Exactly, and that's precisely what happened here. We found specific examples. There was a Telegraph article originally from 2008 talking about her dropping out of the movie The Reader because she was pregnant with Sunday Rose.
Okay, factual. For 2008.
Right, but somehow that article started circulating in late 2025 with metadata showing an October 2025 publication date. So people saw a trusted source like the Telegraph, saw a current date, and boom, assumed it was new information about a 2025 pregnancy.
Wow. And there were others.
Yeah, another piece from Marie Claire UK, also from 2008, talking about her mini baby bump back then that resurfaced too, pushed by algorithms. It creates this confusing digital fog. It's not always deliberate fake news. Sometimes it's just digital decay, old stuff getting reanimated by code.
Creating a false sense that everyone is reporting this.
Exactly. And this raises a really important question, for everyone listening. How do we even tell the difference anymore between real, current reporting and this kind of algorithmic ghost content?
That's a scary thought. If a global narrative can be built on basically faulty date stamps and wishful thinking.
You really have to question the foundation of almost every celebrity story you encounter online. It demands more critical reading from all of us.
Okay, so let's bring this deep dive to a close. The conclusion feels incredibly solid now.
Airtight, I'd say.
The 2025 Nicole Kidman pregnancy rumors were, as you put it, a phantom narrative, just completely disconnected from the reality of her life at that moment. It was built on that potent mix. The public's desire for a miracle story, fueled by her history, amplified by digital misinformation and zombie content, and a collective failure, really, to see the actual crisis she was navigating.
The debunking stands on those pillars. The divorce reality, the strategic logic of the work hiatus, and her very deliberate visual pushback.
The true story of Nicole Kidman in late 2025 wasn't about a new baby starting. It was about strength, resilience, and some seriously savvy public image management during the painful end of a very long marriage.
Absolutely. And maybe the final thought we should leave everyone with is this. When you're scrolling through celebrity news, just pause and ask yourself, how much of this is reporting what's actually happening now?
Yeah.
And how much is just feeding a familiar, comfortable story, a narrative about that celebrity that we've loved for decades and just really want to keep believing?
Something to definitely mull over.
Yeah.
You've been listening to The Deep Dive, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.